Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and these are my Yoshis. Well, I have a lot, and there's ones behind me too. Those are the wallflowers today. Only the favorite Yoshis get to be featured. And I like these ones because they're very colorful. Though I like these, it's just that red doesn't go with my clothes. I'm wearing pink today, so the pastel Easter colors, I'm vibing with that today. All right, well, Neil Young, I saw his performance in this movie called The Last Waltz, and I thought it was abhorrent. And if you want to see that, you can watch that video. It's probably members only right now. But I thought it was bad. And apparently he had like a lot of cocaine in his nose and they had to like edit it out post-production. Anyway, so I'd like to get to a point where I like Neil Young. But as I said in that video, Neil Diamond's better than Neil Young. If you have to just only like people with the same name. So Neil Diamond is better than Neil Young. But I will give him a chance for Cinnamon Girl because I love cinnamon. And I went through a serious cinnamon phase in college. And my brothers like to tell this story if any new boyfriend I've ever had, they're like, do you know about Erica's cinnamon stage? And they're like, no. And then they're like, well, Erica was cooking for a while. That's right, I used to cook. And then I would just like put I'd put cinnamon on everything. So if I made chicken, I'd put cinnamon on it, etc. Okay. Though of course I love pumpkin pie. So I love pumpkin pie seasoning and I love like chai tea. I love that kind of flavor profile of like cloves and cinnamon anyway. And sometimes if I'm feeling like nostalgic, I'll just eat like canned pumpkin and I'll put in the pumpkin pie spices and just eat it like a puree. I can't explain it. I'll eat pumpkin puree with the taste of cinnamon. So, all right, let's go with Neil Young and Crazy Horse. And cinnamon's very healthy for you, actually. Okay. And ants don't like it either. So you can sprinkle it and the ants go away. Ooh, a bridge. Ooh, transitional bridge. I'm gonna imitate those ladies. Are we getting like an extended riff here? All right, dancing around like a ballerina. Two crashes, okay. 2 guitar crash. More, oh wait, stage right, guys, don't forget stage right. Pander to the stage right. Rail riders, that's right. Looking rough, man. There we go, we're gonna do a second one. Crazy Horse is like, what the F, Neil? Come on, indulgent. This is so indulgent. No. Wow, nice 91 hair. Finally, oh my god, that was the most indulgent, drawn-out ending ever. So yes, the person who requested this was like, look at all the women obsessed with him. I think it's more likely that the videographer was a creeper, and he's like, ooh, a hot girl, let me zoom in on her. So there was probably like not as many women in the audience, but he just found them all and zoomed in on them. Voyeurism, you know? It's like, look at that woman. He doesn't want to film the men because he's a male videographer. It could have also been directly from the Neil Young people. They're like, make sure you film all the women, you know? And so then they just zoomed in on all the women to make it seem like there was like a lot of women at the concert. So yes, either that, because clearly that's what's going on here. There's obviously a lot of men, they're just not being filmed. So it's a little bit voyeuristic, but hey, pays the bills, right? Yeah, Neil Young, because I have last seen him in The Last Waltz in 78. I'm like, yeah, okay, he looks a little coked out. I found out, because as I said in the roast of that, I'm like, I bet Neil Young is younger now than I am, but looks like way worse than me, okay? I look good for my age, I'm not going to lie. But Neil Young, I looked up in The Last Waltz in 1978, was only 32 years old, okay? I'm older than 32. But he looked worse than like 45 in the Last Waltz. He did. In The Last Waltz at 32, he looked worse than like an average 45-year-old. Here, 91, I'm like, oh God, he's really had a rough decade. Like, this is pretty quick. It's like a very fast aging from 1978. 1, haircut, not flattering. It reminds me of like Fred Flintstone's friend. He just looks like a caveman, but not in like a good, sexy way, in kind of like a disheveled way. And then he like is inventing the grunge era right now because it's only 91. And he's like, I'm going to wear a flannel shirt. But grunge wasn't a thing yet. So arguably Neil Young started the grunge movement by just not giving a shit. And then he's doing the famous, he has a bald crown, but maybe no one will know if he has like 6-inch hair. But then there's a shot where you're like, oh, he has like no hair on the crown of his head, which is fine. But like, he's not looking very straight. Yeah, he's looking kind of, yeah. Mr. Taylor goes, cameramen are notorious creepers. I agree with that, and I'm going to tell you who the creepiest people are. So as a musical theater girl, I've been in so many stage productions. I've been in ballets. When I was young, I was in like the Nutcracker a ton of times. I was in Coppelia. I was in all these musicals. Backstage tech, creepiest people. Okay, so like the curtain people, the set people, the lighting people, the microphone people, those people are the creepiest people, and they're very voyeuristic because I've had to do like on stage changes because I've had like such fast changes, like you just have to change on stage, like there's no other option, and they're always like, and you're like, okay, I'm not creeped out or anything, and then they're like the ones like at the prop table and they're like, so, and you're like, yeah, and they're just kind of like creepy. So yeah, I could agree that the cameramen could be the creepiest of people. Not to mention that, remember that movie about the serial killer, and it's a true story, the one that was on the dating show, and then he was a photographer, and so he used to be like, oh, I can like do your photo shoot, and then the girls would be like, okay. And in the 70s there was no DNA or accountability, so he would just take them out to a remote location and then assault them and kill them. And yeah, that dude. And it's always the photographers. That's what I'm telling you. They're like, because they have like a weird, like, I'll collect photos of them and then I'll kill them. You know, it's like, I'll have all the photos so I can remember, you know? So this guy's like, I'm going to find every hot girl in this audience and just zoom in on her, even though this concert was probably mostly men. But they make it like, oh, this is mostly women. It's like, it's not. He just found them and zoomed in on them. Anyway, this is my reaction channel. I do whatever I want. I'm like not like the other reactors because I don't watch the genre. That's the thing is I never watched the genre, and I still don't really watch other reaction videos because I don't want to like copy anyone else. I just do my own thing. So that's why we have the Yoshis. This is just my personality. And then I just say exactly what I feel. And then if I really need money, then I'll be like, oh my God, that was like the best thing I ever saw in my life. Like the person who requested it has changed my life. And I'm going to have the most amazing weekend because of it. I'm going to think about this song all the time. And I'm going to think about that requester. He's my favorite now, actually. And then it's like, wow. And the one that gave me the most money, he's my favorite right now. And then I can do that. But anyway, generally, I'm kind of crass and honest. And, you know, I could make a lot of money if I was just pandering for tips all the time. It would be so great. But I'd have to be like, it hurts my personality to lie like a lot. Like, that is the most beautiful man I've ever seen. Neil Young is a rock god. Though Cinnamon Girl is a banger for sure. I really like the bridge. The chord progression in the bridge is really nice. And I like the guitar riff that happens between the verses and the instrumental. So I actually do think Cinnamon Girl is a banger. And the performance was fun. But it was just fun to see like the creeper cameraman and be like, whoa, there's two ways to interpret the situation. Either the audience is full of women or the cameraman's a creeper. And I'm like, statistically, rock concert on average. This isn't the Madonna concert. Madonna concert's full of women and gay men. Same with Lady Gaga. Women and gay men, which is great. Gaga is like my, gay icon. It's great. But I'm just saying at a typical rock concert, it's more male heavy. And I'd say the only exception would be like someone super, 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 super sexy. Like one of these guys that like women are just like, So that's the exception to that rule where it's not really rock. It's like he's just a front man that's like so sexy. Then you might get more women. But again, because men are obsessed with the electric guitar because it's a phallic instrument, there you go. It's going to be a male heavy audience. And they like the distortion. They like it's masculine energy. So, all right. Well, that was so fun. Loved it. If you like my weird, witty antics, you should subscribe. Consider becoming a member. Check out my link tree for all my other social media links. And then on my socials, I share little reels. And sometimes I share old videos. And then people go, oh my God, Erica, you look so pretty in that wedding outfit, whatever. When I was a wedding guest and I wore a black gown. So... all right. Well, thanks for watching and bye.